So Bria Hartley is driving in. Sophie Cunningham, or Kelsey Mitchell comes down. Sophie Cunningham overhelps. And Bria Hartley just kind of plows through her leg by the looks of things. She kind of plows through the knee. And Sophie's holding like her patella.
Sophie Cunningham. Oh, man. I got to tell you, this victory, it came with a big price. Bria Hartley, let me just start there because we've got Sophie Cunningham's sister and mother weighing in on the league, and Bria Hartley right here. This is Hartley right here coming in.
To slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls
and she crushes in on the knee of Sophie right here.
She went down hard. And
the Indiana Fever won the game, but the victory was overshadowed by a single moment of on-court agony. That moment, the injury to Sophie Cunningham, has become the final piece of evidence for fans claiming the WNBA is allowing its most popular team to be systematically dismantled. This isn't just about an injury. It's about a fan revolt that is boiling over.
As an Indiana Fever fan, this absolutely sucks. I mean, first we lose CC. We don't know when she's coming back, if she's coming back. And now this happens to Sophie Cunningham. Are we just cursed?
This is the play that just occurred.
That's like she tries to slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls and makes collision with that lower leg. You see her immediately grab it.
This situation isn't happening in a vacuum. It's the culmination of a disastrous pattern of coincidental injuries that have sidelined the Indiana Fever's biggest stars, starting with Caitlin Clark. Now, with the team's enforcer down, viewers are asking a serious question. Is this just unbelievable bad luck, or is it a catastrophic failure by the league to protect its athletes?
It looked bad. She's going to be done for the year. I don't know how much longer the Indiana Fever can continue to survive with these injuries. I just have to be honest. I gotta be real. We lost Sydney Colston to a torn ACL. Ari McDonald broken bone in her foot. Caitlin Clark has played like 12 games all year or something like that. DeWanna Bonner scammed us. I mean, it's been a complete shit show, to say the least. It's been a shit show. I just gotta be honest.
The play itself was a chaotic split second. Bria Hartley drove to the basket, and Sophie Cunningham slid over to provide help defense. In what looked like a clumsy, awkward collision, Hartley's body weight came down directly onto Cunningham's knee. For Fever fans, it was a sickening instant replay of a nightmare that has been unfolding all season long.
I mean, immediately in the game, the refs was just on some ish, bro. Just on something, and y'all know what I always say, man. What if Sophie or somebody was your aunt, your niece, your daughter? You know, you got to put yourself in reality, you know, because she is somebody's daughter, she is somebody's sister, and this is just unfortunate. And those of you who don't think a civil rights investigation need to be brought upon this league is tripping. This civil rights investigation.
Almost immediately, Sophie's family ignited a firestorm online, giving a voice to thousands of frustrated fans. Her sister Lindsay tweeted directly at the league, writing, "Maybe you should focus less on fining players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that are able to call a consistent game and protect your athletes." Pathetic. The message was unmistakable. Fans and family believe this wasn't an accident, but an inevitable outcome of poor officiating.
Sophie Cunningham lying down, clearly in pain, visible pain, agony, pain, stays down. Got to cut to commercial. The medical staff comes around her. She looks like she walked off on her own accord, but it looked like she walked off in pain on her own accord. Out for the rest of the game. Only played 10 minutes. And that's where Lexi Holt needed to step up, and step up she did. Step up she did.
This injury is the breaking point because of the horrifying context surrounding it. First, it was Caitlin Clark, who has been sidelined for an astonishing 19 of the team's 32 games with a recurring groin injury. Then, in one disastrous game, the team lost both Ari McDonald and Sydney Colson to season-ending injuries. Now Cunningham is the fourth core player to go down.
Sophie's sister Lindsay and her mom Paula. At WNBA, maybe you should focus less on fining players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that are able to call a consistent game, protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you, Sophie Cunningham. Yeah, officially, my two favorite players in this league that I really love to, particularly love to pull for, they're both out now. And it did not look good. No word on that, by the way.
From a fan's perspective, the league's response has only added fuel to the fire. Sophie Cunningham has been fined 4 separate times this season for publicly criticizing the officiating. She's pointed out what she saw as dangerous plays and inconsistent calls, and was punished for speaking out. Now she's injured from the very type of physical contact she was warning about, creating a deeply troubling irony.
Cunningham is down. My goodness.
You can literally hear her screaming in pain. It's so heartbreaking. Indiana Fever star guard Sophie Cunningham, the enforcer, had a lower leg injury today against the Connecticut Suns.
In one play she highlighted, she was clearly pushed out of bounds with no foul called. In another, she took an elbow to the neck and, according to her own social media post, was told by officials that she flopped. This pattern of dismissing her concerns, followed by a serious injury, feels to many like a direct consequence of the league's perceived inaction.
And they got a damn lawsuit. It is Sophie as well. It's Sophie as well. Just the amount of calls, the way she's been treated. Watch this. 60. I mean, just immediately. First, look at this. Instantly into the game. Instantly. Immediately, Sophie got hammered. They had a target to hurt Sophie. She was targeted by this team for a reason. They wanted to hurt Sophie. They made it their business to hurt Sophie.
A prominent theory now circulating among viewers is that this is happening by design. The logic behind this fan theory is that Caitlin Clark and the Fever became too dominant too quickly. They were winning games in blowouts, and some believe this exposed a talent gap that made the overall league product look unbalanced. The league, in this theory, needed to level the playing field.
I told y'all Bria Hartley is a dirty player. She's no different than Dejanay Carrington. It just doesn't get as much publicity because the Connecticut Sun stink. Point blank, period. She's reckless. She injured Sophie Cunningham, and it is a travesty. Stephanie White, you better go and you need to be buying Kelsey Mitchell food all week. You need to send her a personal masseuse because she saved your job tonight. Your ass should have been fired if y'all would have lost today. Point blank and period. You was horrible. Bro, before you could sneeze, achoo, we was down by 10 plus points in the first quarter.
And what better way to do that than by allowing a level of physicality that systematically removes the Fever's best players? It's a serious accusation, but when frustrated viewers look at the timeline, it becomes harder to dismiss. Every time the Fever build momentum, another key player goes down. The team's playoff chances have plummeted from a near certain 99.2% to 87.1%, and are falling with every.
There's only 13 teams in the WNBA. 8 of them go to the playoffs. Not 6, not 4, 8. Over 50% of them go to the playoffs. So when you are supposed to win games that you're supposed to win, you're supposed to just take care of business. I don't care if they lost Caitlin Clark. They still have Kelsey Mitchell. They have Aaliyah Boston. Sophie Cunningham. Hope she feels better. Lexi Hall. They have talent on this team. They have enough talent. Howard.
Even coaches have sounded the alarm, lending credibility to fan concerns. Fever coach Stephanie White warned that the physicality her team is facing has has been at a different level than it's been for a long time. This wasn't just typical coach speak. Viewers interpreted it as a public plea for the league to step in, a plea that many feel went ignored.
And we have no idea when Caitlin Clark is coming back or if she is coming back at all. Every time that they get asked, they just say TBD. We have no idea what's going on, which is, in my opinion, quite suspicious. You kind of know what is going to happen with an injury. The doctors can give you an estimate. The player can tell you, you know what, I'm not really feeling that great. I don't expect to be coming back. But she has been practicing with the team. Maybe she's going to come back for the playoffs and help them get that championship, or at least try to get the championship.
The league's head of officiating has stated they hold referees accountable. But fans are pointing to the game footage and asking, where is the proof? Where was the accountability when Clark was repeatedly pushed to the ground on plays that were called common fouls? And where was it when Cunningham was taken out on a play that, to her family, looked anything but accidental?
Sophie's mother, Paula, Hartley is a disgruntled player having trouble everywhere she goes. She's playing mean and plays out of control. So, what can you say? I do not blame Sophie's mother and sister for being upset. Marina Mabrey went nuts in this game, scored 27.
Sophie's mother, Paula, didn't hold back in a comment she later deleted, calling Bria Hartley a player who is playing mean and plays out of control. When a player's own mother feels compelled to call out a specific opponent for dangerous behavior, it signals a complete breakdown of trust in the league's ability to police its own game.
This is a play where Sophie Cunningham is dribbling toward the baseline. As you can see, she catches the ball in the wing, dribbles down, and then JC Sheldon kind of body checks her out of bounds, but the referee didn't call a foul there. He just called it an out of bounds, like Sophie Cunningham ran out of bounds is what he called. So you watch her here, dribbles, pushed out of bounds. Sophie's like, oh, of course, it's going to be a foul. No, it wasn't. That wasn't a foul. This one, she actually quote tweeted herself. As you can see, she's running up and then Hartley kind of elbows her in the neck and Sophie falls to the ground. Now she reposted this and she said, they said I flopped, LOL. So I guess the referees told her that she flopped on that play, or the players, who knows. Somebody told her that she flopped on that play. This is Aaliyah Boston and Tina Charles, and they are battling in the post. And then you can see
what the WNBA may not have anticipated was the fierce loyalty of this new massive fan base. When Sophie was fined, GoFundMe campaigns were launched and paid her fines within hours. Every questionable call against a Fever player is now clipped, analyzed, and spread across social media, creating a powerful narrative the league is struggling to contain. The league's attempts to silence criticism with fines have backfired spectacularly. By punishing Cunningham for pointing out a problem, only for that exact problem to lead to her injury, the league has, in the eyes of the public, proven her point more effectively than she ever could have. The Indiana Fever entered this season with legitimate championship aspirations. Now their title window appears to be closing, not because of a lack of talent, but because their roster has been shattered by injuries. This has created a crisis of confidence in the league's leadership. The bigger issue is the potential long-term damage to the WNBA itself. The Caitlin Clark effect brought in millions of new viewers, but this audience is witnessing a product where its biggest stars appear unprotected. This threatens to alienate the very people who represent the future growth of the league. The WNBA is now at a critical crossroads. Will it address the roaring complaints from players, families, and fans by making tangible changes to protect its athletes? Or will it continue to dismiss the criticism and risk squandering the greatest commercial opportunity in its history? With the return of both Cunningham and Clark uncertain, the Fever's fight for a playoff spot has become symbolic of a much larger battle. The question is no longer just if the Fever can survive this season, but if the WNBA can survive the perception that it failed its most valuable team when they needed protection the most.